Okay guys, last source of the week. Today we're going to analyze source 4, an editorial from the San Francisco News called Their Best Way to Show Loyalty, dated March 6, 1941. I'm going to annotate probably a little differently than some of you have seen and the same way that you have seen. I just want to make sure that everybody's getting the best that they, or the most that they can out of this. So we are going to chunk our paragraphs, and you can do that in two ways. You can either separate visually, we're just going to do 3 chunks, or you can number them. So you have 1, 2, 3, and 4. So I'm going to go back in with my highlighter as I read and look for some main ideas or important details. Japanese leaders in California who are counseling their people, both aliens and native born, to cooperate with the Army in carrying out the evacuation plans are, in effect, offering the best possible way for all Japanese to demonstrate their loyalty to the United States. So I'm going to highlight that last line. They're offering the best way possible for all Japanese to demonstrate their loyalty if they cooperate with the Army. So that means that if they're okay with relocating, that means that they're loyal. That's how Japanese Americans can prove their loyalty to the United States, by just cooperating with the Army and moving to these internment camps, even though they have no idea what's awaiting them. So if you think back to that original picture where you guys did your question formulation technique, a lot of people commented that people were smiling. So if you think about this now, if you want to demonstrate that you're loyal and you're not really sure what's awaiting you, maybe not everybody had a reason to be afraid at that moment. Many aliens and practically all the native born have been protesting their allegiance to this government. So I'm just going to circle allegiance. Some of us might not know what that means, and we can think of it in the same way as loyal. Although their removal to inland districts outside the military zones may inconvenience them somewhat, even work serious hardships upon some, they must certainly recognize the necessity of clearing the coastal combat areas of all possible fifth columnists and saboteurs. Again, I'm going to circle this. This word just means these people are an enemy. So people who are trying to sabotage the government are not loyal to the United States and instead are loyal to the Japanese. Inasmuch as the presence of enemy agents cannot be detected readily when these areas are thronged by Japanese, the only course left is to remove all persons of that race for the duration of the war. So this is their reasoning. The presence of enemy agents cannot be detected readily, so they just have to remove all persons of that race. So they can't tell whether or not somebody is loyal or not. So the quick and easy and most effective way is just to remove all Japanese Americans to eliminate the threat. Real danger would exist for all Japanese if they remained in the combat area. I think that's super important, and that takes us back to source 3, our cartoon, where they said that they were doing them a favor by removing them. The least act of sabotage might provoke angry reprisals that easily could balloon into bloody race riots. We must avoid any chance of that sort of thing. The most sensible, the most humane way to ensure against it is to move the Japanese out of harm's way and to make it as easy as possible for them to go and to remain away until the war is over. I'm just going to annotate that it's almost like the United States are doing them a favor by removing them. They're keeping them safe. As we continue our inquiry, we'll see how realistic that really is, but this is the argument that the San Francisco News is making, that we're avoiding some race riots. Japanese Americans who are cooperating with the Army are keeping themselves out of harm's way, and they're proving to the United States that they're loyal. Okay, guys, that's it. You can answer your 2 questions on Ed Puzzle, and I will talk to you next week.